All right, should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. It's July 9th, and here we are at Darien Town Hall at 9:05 a.m. I'd like to call the Darien Beautification Commission meeting to order. Let's see. First item on our agenda is to review and approve the minutes from our last meeting. Does anybody have any comments or questions or anything about them?
I'll be right back. I just didn't print copies for everybody.
Okay. Should we can share.
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 All right. Pam, you want to move over to?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Thanks.
Here you go. I have this here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. There you go. We can share.
No, that's not the treasurer. This one. Oh, I'll go.
Here, I can go.
I'll be back.
Pass that down.
A moment, please. Which one are we looking at? I looked at it, so.
Danielle, I need to get one of these made for you. Do you mind passing it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, here's yours, Pam.
I usually sit there, but I moved over
Oh, okay.
because there was no chair there.
Okay, so
I
this
was
is
like,
yours then.
I'm fixing it.
Here, do you want me to? hand
Oh.
over?
Did
Or
Tracy
they get-
leave?
She went
She went to print.
Oh, copies.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Minutes.
Oh, yeah, approval of the minutes.
Yeah. Approval of minutes. Anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, well, while we're waiting,
Looks good.
in our meeting today, we have Danielle Sykes, we have Colleen Kalvidas, we have Pamela Thompson, Elizabeth Hall, myself, Sarah Schwarz, Charlotte Samari, and Tracy Whitehead, who just went to go get the treasurer's report. And then did she hand out this as well? Okay, great.
Do we have to vote on the minutes?
Well, I guess it is approved. Should we vote on it?
I like that. I think we have to because somebody gave me notes on.
Yeah, I think we do.
I don't know.
All right. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does anybody, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I do.
First, second, thank you, Pamela and Danielle,
Thank
thank you. While we're waiting, I just came from Pear Point Beach, and there was a couple sitting on the bench there in our little garden there. I was so
Aw.
excited. Yeah.
That's so cute.
I know, just enjoying the sound, just sitting there. I was gonna take a picture, but I was already running late, so I was like, but yeah, it was very cute. So this was out of the April, so I've had this in my bag for a little while, but this was in the April newspaper. But it mentioned that beautification, we got the same budget. So we had 34,600 last year, and we have, the Board of Finance approved the same amount for us this year. So we'll have the same budget to work with. So when Tracy's back, we can get into that.
It's good. It's good news.
That's good news. That's great. Yeah. Now, I believe 10 of that will be towards our gardens. But that's great. I mean, we're working with the same things last year, so it's good. It seems to work for us. That seems to be a good budget.
Yeah. We can get a lot done.
Mm-hmm. With the baskets and,
Yeah, watering.
yeah, the watering, exactly, and cleanups.
And the baskets still look beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was skeptical when we planted, when we broke them apart and planting them in the planter knacker, but they look gorgeous.
They look fantastic, don't they?
really
Yeah.
I look pleasantly
They're
surprised by
very happy.
I
Yeah, they
know.
look great.
Yeah.
Very colorful.
And coming inside, they mulched down around it looks really
Looks
nice.
really pretty.
Yeah.
Looks
Who
great.
was that gentleman you were speaking of?
I forgot his name, but Tracy knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's so nice.
I thought he was elder. I'm dying to meet this elder.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everyone I meet is, are you elder? He's like,
Yeah.
are you my mother?
Yeah. But it's so cute because he told me that he took a picture of, you know, what we have there, that thing that shows all the plants that are there at the bottom of the hill. And he said he took a picture and he brought it to a gardening center. And he said, I want all these plants in my garden.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so neat.
So he has all of those plants at home now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he loves the flowers so much.
On our
awesome.
native hill?
Yes, so
No
he,
way.
yeah, he has all
this
this at home.
home.
Tracy, what's the name of the gentleman who was spreading the mulch this morning?
Oh, Johnny and Armando?
Armando, that's it.
Yes.
Yes, I always forget his name.
Oh, you have it? Who's missing one?
I have it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, great.
Do you
Thank
have,
you.
Elizabeth, you have, no. You and Mark.
Oh,
We
That's,
can share.
okay,
We're good.
Thank
This
you.
is different.
Oh,
Here we go.
thank
We
you.
can share.
here.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, thanks.
That's the actual report, so.
All right, cool.
The other one is back up to some of the stuff we spend money on,
Oh, okay.
because you know how we are. I know.
Thank you.
Alright. So before I so rudely interrupted us,
Okay, great. Well, Tracy, how about you run with the treasurer's report?
I think I just did.
Literally.
Okay, well, we spent a lot of money this month trying to get finished up with our budget and just doing some of our own revamping of some of the beautification garden or Darien bloom gardens. And so I attached to the list, so the other attachment there has a listing of the expenses involved on this report. We went up, Colleen and I had the pleasure of going up with Elder to Valley View Nursery up in South Salem, and we bought a whole bunch of plants. We opened up a business commercial account, tax ID number, the whole bit. So we have one there. I have one now also at Nielsen's, and Nielsen's, I did better at Nielsen's. I couldn't find anything at Garden Center. So, and Nielsen's gave us 20% off. So,
Nice.
so we opened an account there, and we opened up an account at wherever that other invoice is that's attached. But anyway, so we bought a whole bunch of plants. We paid Elder for the hanging baskets for the May maintenance. He's gonna get me a bill for that 6/17 to 6/30 period. That's gonna be like roughly half of that. So we'll finish up our budget without having to prepay any expenses. I am still waiting on the invoice for ELM, going round and round.
I will follow up with him. I'll give him a call today after this meeting.
I have his cell number now, in
Yeah.
case you need that as well.
I have that. That's what I've been calling.
Yeah, I've called the office, I've called the
Yeah.
cell, I've emailed, and I usually copy you on
busy guy.
anything I send him. But anyway, I'll
I
get
couldn't
it.
get in touch with him either when I was calling you, but I didn't have his cell at the office.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's what we're trying to wait on, because in that $10,000 is also watering for the gardens that they planted. So, so those will be maintained. Elder is watering some of our other gardens. Maybe not the things that are established, but Elder knows the new stuff we put in, so he's trying to stay on top of some of that for us.
Is he
as well.
doing anything at the fire department?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So, we'll get to that when we go to the weeding section of our report.
Got it.
So, anyway, so we have a remaining balance of $13.43, but as I said, I'm waiting on Elder's invoice. And then we should be zeroed out on our budget.
Yay.
And probably a little overdrawn, but that's okay.
Well, it's got our new year to start. I was just saying while you were out, we have the same budget for this year, so
Which
it
is
seems
34.6.
34.6.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems to be, I think, a good balance for us, a good budget. And actually, on that note, I thought that while we are in the midst of doing things, no reason to wait till the end like we have so many previous years. I mean, we can put a little bit in now, right? I mean, actually, while we're on treasurer's report,
I think what we can do too, I think in the fall, because Valley View has beautiful mums and things in the fall. And I think in the fall, we'll go ahead in some of the gardens and put some mums in there.
Yeah.
And we'll take advantage of buying some of the stuff commercially, and we'll, do some things for the planters. And I think we should put some bulbs in the planters, so next year we don't have to plant something early before the hanging basket plants go in. And I've heard wonderful things about the petunias, the hanging baskets this year, so.
oh yeah, they were great. Okay, well, so then actually while we're still on treasurer's report, because I agree with that, I think that would be so nice. In fact, it'd be nice to have, we've talked about for Veterans Day, to have some things planted out here, have a few mums placed around town.
Our
We've
mums
talked
are
about
coming up that we planted last year. And I meant to pinch them back so they wouldn't get scraggly. I was like, oh shoot, I kind of blew it, but.
so mums, and then we've talked about bulbs, and that Tokeneke garden is driving me crazy.
I know.
By Tokeneke school. So I'd actually
Well, feel
like
free.
to.
Feel free one night after work.
Yeah,
Amanda can take that one.
yeah. So I was wondering whether we actually apply some money
And
for our new budget to get Ellen working on that
Yeah,
now.
we could, sure.
Yeah, because I was thinking, no reason to wait till next year, even to the
Yeah.
fall. We've got it's a new start. We've
Yeah.
got money back in the account.
And by the way, going through the old treasurer's log and everything else, that exit 13 garden, that is the Verina Stewart garden.
Right.
What is that? What is
Oh.
that?
Which we have $3,000.
We had been asked about that.
Right.
No way.
That's exit 13 up by Splash. And that
That's
was
the
coming
Verina
into-
Stewart, because remember that question
Yes.
came in,
That's right.
and we didn't know where it was. That's
See, I don't
it.
just weed, I dig.
Oh, you do a lot
my
more
God.
than that, too. A lot more.
So, so I found that in all that paperwork. I said, oh, that's right, that's where the Verina Stewart garden is.
Okay, well, we just used some of our budget to get that cleaned up, so why don't we use some of the money from the Verina Stewart to swap it and apply that to Tokeneke? That Tokeneke garden.
Yeah, and we'll start these bricks pretty soon too, so we'll have money.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you guys say about that?
Yeah,
sounds
Okay,
great.
good.
I
So
actually
shall I
asked Mark
ask-
about
Yeah.
getting us a quote on that and what
Yeah.
he would do.
Which
And-
one, Tokeneke?
Yeah, that
Okay.
Tokeneke garden.
Yeah.
I am. I don't know if you saw, those pictures.
Yeah, okay.
I took pictures of the gardens that we cleaned up.
Oh, great.
So, not the ones that ELM did, but the ones that we did. So, and Ledge Road is not done yet, but we are gonna take the big grasses out of there this fall. Elder will do that for us. And so,
Wait, ledge, okay.
I love that. I think that looks so
Yeah, it's way
much
better.
cleaner. So,
Tokeneke at Old Farm, right?
yeah,
Tokeneke and Old
right by
Farm.
Tokeneke School.
So, I have notes here from Michelle from Nielsen's, this is
Oh,
going
yeah.
back a couple of years ago. To just keep in mind that there's deer over there.
Yep.
Dig up the grasses, put them elsewhere. Definitely needs mulch, keep the variety and trim back the tree. But it could be nice, because that's a busy intersection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
It's shady too.
It's shady,
Yeah.
and we have to keep in mind when we plant there too.
I did.
Sightlines.
We have
in all
all
the
saw
directions.
Absolutely, so it has to be low.
We saw them.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
you could probably find something nice that'll do well in shade, perennial, and kind of fill in a little
I mean,
bit.
even plethora can do sun or shade and is deer resistant. There are a couple things we can certainly do in there. I think for now, if we can at least get it cleaned up
Clean up.
and mulched,
And we
What's really helping us this year is the town's being really supportive of dropping off mulch in places for us to spread. And that's so key, not only for the drought, but it keeps the weeds down. And, I mean, some of the mulch, I've put on some mulch that's so thick, I don't think we've done 3 years, but they probably will after this rain.
Yeah.
but it's so much easier to maintain. So I think that's, that's been really key, having Ed really be supportive of that with John's nudge as well, so.
Right.
But we're getting there.
And we chatted, like, not last month or the month before, about possibly doing a project with the schools, like painted rocks. So would we still be interested in doing that if we can coordinate it with the arts teacher at Tokeneke and then have them, we could like go around with the painted rocks?
We could do painted
Would that
rocks.
be something?
I would like to actually on Ledge Road, I'd like to put some big rocks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyone
I
comes
actually,
across big rocks.
big rocks I'm fine with. I don't know, I'm kind of wondering about that. I feel like painted rocks goes with the school, but that's
But
the
that's-
entrance
yeah.
to an
Yeah.
entire neighborhood.
Mhm.
I don't know if we want it to look like an elementary school
Okay.
necessarily. I'm okay if they want to get involved in something that's natural looking, but I don't know
But not
how I
the
feel.
rocks.
I mean this, if, I don't know how you guys feel.
You know where they could put the painted rocks that would be cute, would maybe be that berm they put in down at Pear Tree,
Where?
along the road on Pear Tree Point at the beach. Those
With the
those
benches?
Oh.
plantings they put in there, or the plantings over by the shower. I mean, that would be cute, or
No, I
even,
think you're right. I think you're right because it's not really, it's next to the school, but not really.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
the
still
part
the
of the
entrance
school.
to the
It's-
neighborhood.
yeah.
It's not necessarily only school
I
related.
like that.
For some reason, I have a vague memory of the town or Department of Transportation saying that the rocks were dangerous when it comes to snow and rain if they wash
Oh.
off and.
that was
And
Ed.
shovels.
That was Ed, and that's why he didn't want us to put rocks along the
Okay.
garden over here,
Right.
but I didn't hear that. So-
Yeah, I think it's the
Thought.
snow plows, what
Just
they
if they hit it.
Yeah.
And anyway, just,
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful idea. I'd love to get
But
the
I think-
community involved.
Yeah, I would like to think, like Ledge Road, I mean, you and I talked about maybe putting some nice, big decorative boulders in there. Not huge boulders, but some nice big
Nice,
rocks.
yeah.
It saves us planting and weeding.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty.
we don't have to
It
replace
would
them
be
every couple
pretty.
years.
It would be
Yeah.
pretty.
And it gives some interest to it in the winter. I mean, in that Ledge Road garden, we will have the red twig dogwood
Right.
in there, and, so there'll be other things, the boxwoods in there, which needs some love, or,
Yeah, or
Removal, but-
swap that.
but, I think that can help offset some of our expenses. So don't hesitate to throw one in the back of your car on the side of the road. So, anyway. Oh, I have to do one of these for Danielle.
Does anybody else have anything on treasurer's report? Nope. Moving on to hanging baskets and everything, we just cover them, they look
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Elder's been on top of them.
It's great.
Got a really, really nice email from Sandy Drimmel, who used to do the hanging baskets. And she said, oh, Tracy, I'm so glad, you're still involved with them, and I'm so glad Beautification did them this year, and the color is really lovely, so.
Nice.
Good.
Except for that one man who thinks the yellow clashes with the American flags.
Yeah.
Well, he noticed.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
They're gonna bloom all summer.
That's it.
Weeding and pruning, there's been a lot of activity. Thank you for the pictures. What else? Do you want to add, anything else to add on?
Well, I know we have a couple upcoming projects. Elizabeth right now is working on the old Board of Realtors garden. So, and I have extra mulch around that we can
It's
use
worse
to-
than it looks. I mean, it's a lot more than it looks,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
but it's fine, it's fine.
so.
Can anybody in that office get involved or do it? Because
I don't know.
Because it seemed like someone might have been doing it. Because
Well, there's no more Darien Board of Realtors.
yes.
Where is that?
Wait, it's the one in front. It's near the CVS parking lot.
No.
Right? Good.
No.
No, it's not that one.
It's
it's-
right, it's across from Post Corner, you know how they have parking behind Post Corner?
Yeah.
Right across the street, and then behind those stores there.
Right on the corner as you're pulling into that parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed.
If you go into Good Foods, see, I go up and down Mansfield all the
Yeah.
time, so I always
Wait,
notice.
it's right near the sign that says Tilly
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the.
And there's
Board
like a bunch of
Realtors
roses
one.
there, and,
Yes,
Roses
I
and
noticed. I know
lilies.
you've already been working on that, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I noticed it looks much better.
oh, good, thank you.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that yesterday.
It's mostly roses.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
And they're blooming too. They look pretty.
Yeah, so I trimmed all those and the tiger lilies, but the interior of it, there's like, maybe there's one plant, I don't even know what it is, to be honest, and the rest is just like all weeds. So I don't know if we just want to, just mulch it.
Well, we can go buy some more plants on the new budget.
No, I don't think so. I
You
wasn't-
can't
I
really
don't-
see them though because of all the roses.
Yeah, we didn't, that was one of the ones we voted to like not get too involved in. I was thinking we go the opposite direction, like we try and shrink it and make it minimal because we
Yeah.
don't want to have to take this on consistently. I mean, it's,
Right.
as we all know, it's like gardening is more than once a year, like constant. So I would say we don't add more plants, we would shrink it. But I don't know, I mean, Where do we
Nobody
stand?
even notices.
You know, if we threw in like some Agilia or
Once you see it,
Spirea,
you'll be like, oh
it
my
would
gosh,
at least
yeah.
kind of
just
push
is
and
like
fill in the
the-
empty space.
Oh, yeah.
and just-
Yeah, put a couple of bushes in the middle.
It's really
That would
not
be perfect.
perfect,
Yeah.
as you're going into
That would
the
make,
parking
that would
lot.
simplify it, just mulch it, and then it's kind of like an easy fix.
Then it's like filled in a little.
Yeah.
Now it's just empty in the middle, so then all those weeds just keep coming up.
well, that's my concern. So that's why when we met with the first selectman, he was like, we're only gonna give you 10,000 for this annually, which is great, we're so happy for, but that doesn't give us 17 gardens to maintain.
Right.
And, I mean, we don't wanna have to depend on this commission to be going out and weeding 17 gardens every year. So I was thinking,
Right.
the idea being that we originally talked about even grassing over the ones we didn't vote on.
Yeah, you could
So, I mean, that's the other idea.
even throw some grass in there, but the roses look pretty.
That's the thing. That's where we've struggled because it's like there are some
It's-
beautiful
it's
plants that are
semi-established.
thriving. Exactly, and they're sort of been thriving. So, I mean, surviving, I should say.
I do have
So-
notes from that garden by Tilly Pond saying that we should leave it as a pollinator garden. There's a bunch of milkweed. Is there still milkweed in there? No.
No,
There's roses. Leave the roses.
just roses, yeah, like knockout
There's
roses.
daylilies?
Yeah, which I trimmed down.
Okay. Leave the sedum
Just looks
and
scraggly.
possibly add a few more. That's
Yeah,
all
there's
I
a couple of
have.
sedums in there.
That's all. Those can be divided though, right?
Yeah,
Those
Maybe
are
we
just
can put
notes
those
from like
irises in
4 years
too.
ago.
but to be honest, like I cleaned up a lot of trash there too. You know what I mean? It was just disgusting, really.
I cleaned up trash in the CVS garden the other day too, and I was like,
Oh, yes.
just
That one is
right
so,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
That one gets so much trash in it.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
saw the
Yeah.
carriage in there. I was like, really? You couldn't walk an extra 2 feet? Come on.
but
This
it
is
looks
our-
better, it looks better.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, can we maybe just throw 2 Agilias or 2 Spireas in there to fill up some space and just mulch it and just have it look just presentable but not elegant or showy?
I mean, yeah, I don't know, I don't mind, I mean, it's not
Why don't
really
we
my
see
call.
it
I
then
guess
how
the
long
question
actually
is.
we won't have a lot of work then, like
Yeah.
next year.
And that's,
it'll
I'm
be
just
filled
worried
up.
about like planning for the future, like we're cleaning up, but I don't wanna grow the
Right.
ones that we didn't select as top priority.
Right.
I mean, I'm just speaking up, if
Yeah.
anybody has other opinions
Well,
on
I
it.
think
let me
because
know.
it actually is a visible lot, because people pull into that parking lot all the time with
Mhm.
Post Pizza and stuff, and they get stuck in that light.
Mhm.
I don't think we can totally abandon it. I don't think we need to put a whole lot of stuff that needs deadheading and and pruning and dividing and stuff, but I think if we did, just filled in the spot with, some Spirea or Vigilias or something that would be bushy and flower, and just
Yeah.
kind of
Then we
hang out.
wouldn't have much work to do.
Yeah.
Because it would be filled in kind
I mean,
Just not junipers.
it's all about a process, a question about like, what's the ongoing maintenance? I mean, if it
Right.
grass is gonna be mowed by Park and Rec, so
Yeah,
if it's
they
grass,
won't
we
mow
don't have
that.
to do that.
They won't mow that because there are rose bushes in there.
That's what I'm saying, that's why the decision with the first selectman was anywhere that we don't have a budget for should get grassed over, so that Park and Rec can
And I thought
mow.
we were gonna do that with
Oh.
the entrance ramp at 11, over by the,
Yeah.
and Elm clean that whole garden?
Yeah,
And trimmed.
he trimmed.
He trimmed.
So I
the
told him,
ones
I
already
trimmed the southbound one, the one coming by the Jag dealer. That one they kind of trimmed,
Yeah.
cleaned up a little. But the other one is totally clean and
Yeah, he said, we're gonna go over there. I said, no, that one's not on our list. We don't have interest. And he said, well, I've got the team there. Want me just to like trim back and cut it up, just make it presentable? Because the alternative was rip everything out and grass it over, which was actually, sounded like more
Probably
time
more
and more money
expensive, yeah.
and more expensive. So I said, yes, well, it's not like essentially in our budget or on our list. Just trimming it down and cleaning it out for now was
That was
okay.
generous, that was very nice of them.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, all right, fine, but that's not where we want to spend money. That's not the one.
well,
So-
yeah, he said he had all this labor there that, a big chunk of that was labor. And so he ended up on the billing, took out the ground cover for the pink finca that he was gonna put at several other gardens and substituted the labor for that. So he's been working the numbers. I mean, I'm not entirely thrilled with the Norotan Heights garden, but not when I see the one that we did next to it, which I think looks spectacular right now.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. What is the problem with it, or what is it?
I mean, it's got coneflowers in it. It's got the hornbeam. Well, they weren't watering yet at that point either. So there was a little miscommunication on that. I thought their maintenance was including their watering, and it wasn't. So
Now, the watering is supposed to be done by Park and Rec Department.
only on some of it, but Elm is charging us $800 for some of the watering.
Okay, so we need to go back and just also make sure that Park and Rec, will need to go and make sure they know where.
Because some of it's Park and Rec, some of it's Public Works, depending where the garden is.
I didn't know that either. Wait, what do you mean? Because there's only one watering truck, I thought.
Yeah, but they share. But it's the crews who water.
Okay, that was not my understanding. I thought it was. Okay, so I need to go back.
So maybe we need to sit down with Sandy, Rich, and Ed and figure out what gardens need watering and how they can help us.
Yeah, okay. Set up a meeting.
Because, I mean, Elder's been kind of temporarily
Yeah,
doing some of it as well, but that's all money that comes out of our budget. Our
Right.
budget,
yeah, exactly.
instead of just our general taxes.
So do you want to make a decision on the Realtor's garden, or should we just think about it?
How about, can the pollinator pathway, I mean, they like having a lot of play and stuff like that. Can they take it over? I know that it's a sore spot with just being politically correct in terms of working together, but do they adopt gardens or no?
No.
Right.
Plus, we're not adopting, like we're
Yeah,
trying
just
to
when
move
they
away
would
from
take
that
it
model.
over. Just wanna
Or they would take
simplify.
it over.
Yeah.
Well, with those rose bushes in there, they wouldn't.
I mean, we voted on the gardens, that one was not one that we voted on.
Right.
That was when we voted to not focus on and to grass over, because anything we weren't focusing over, the thought was it grasses over. We didn't actually go through with grassing them over, because it's kind of heartbreaking to pull out established
Yeah.
plants.
Right.
So we are playing this middle ground, not doing what we actually said we were gonna do, which I'm totally fine, me personally fine with, but I just don't feel like we should grow a garden that we've already voted to not focus on.
Right.
I mean, already so much work cleaning up, tidying up, all that. To me, it seems we should be shrinking it back to just the bare minimum of what's surviving and thriving and not planting.
Okay.
But that's my opinion, so we
I'll
can
come
all
take
vote
a
on
walk with you, look at it, and see if we can scale it back.
And then maybe mulch it.
I think
Yeah,
we
mulch
should
it.
Yeah.
just tidy it up, because the sign is right there. and-
it. Exactly.
So just
The
make it
sign's
look
there.
neat.
When you go
Leave
past
what's
it,
there.
yeah, and when you go past it right now, like you can't tell that I didn't weed a lot in the center because the whole exterior looks much neater.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should just leave what's there and just tidy it up.
okay.
I thought it was
Okay.
totally done, to be quite honest with you. When
Oh,
I was
that's
leaving on
good,
Sunday, I
thanks.
was like, wow, that looks really good. I was gonna stop and, do
Oh,
something.
that's good.
And I was like, thank you. It was so
And I
hot.
did more since then, so that's good.
So, I
All
thought
right.
you did a great job.
All right, thanks,
Have
You
Ann.
know, I thought Tokeneke, over by Tokeneke School, I thought we had talked about maybe grassing that.
Yes, yeah, we
Yeah,
had, and
we
that's
did.
why I was thinking that that's why we just get elm in, clean it out, grass it, be done with it.
Yeah.
Like, just,
Yeah.
then it's clean.
I think that's better.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, because, yeah, there was talk about saving things, and I
Okay.
don't,
Near the.
I just think we just
Stuff,
clean
the
it up.
Yeah.
There's a tree there,
There's a
remember you
tree.
looked at the tree, and the
Yeah,
tree's
it
not
looked
even
like
that good a shape.
It looked unhealthy,
It's an
right?
unhealthy looking tree, so I'd say, but we're not gonna deal with that now, I'd say down the road, maybe tree is next step, whether it gets
Yeah.
pruned or fed or whatever.
And the town
it
is
is.
actually putting together a project to prune a lot of the smaller trees in
Oh,
town.
that's
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That is good.
So in my opinion, if we can just have Elm go in, I know you joked about me and Amanda doing it, but I'm not doing that.
Which one?
Have Elm come in, or
Yeah.
Elder, I don't care, but like clean it up, rip out what's there, put in grass seed,
Yeah.
just put a ring around the base of the tree, mulch in there,
Basically.
call it a day.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it needs, because
Beautiful idea.
because
I do too.
it's
also-
a big area, and, you have sight lines in all the directions.
Yes.
Mowing it would definitely address that. Mowing also does get rid of a lot of the garbage sometimes too.
And it would look neat.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
great.
agree. Okay, and the sight lines are not an issue then?
Right.
Okay,
Put
all
a
right.
grass over.
all right, we're on the ground.
And we might be able
All right.
to actually get the town, maybe that's something the town would grass it. Or we can have Elm do it, and water it, keep it well.
Well, no, the town's supposed to be watering everything. So Elm is not supposed to be watering. We didn't, that wasn't originally factored into that budget. They just, because they started so late, they said they'd factor that in.
Can you plant grass seed now, or is it too late to plant grass seed?
I think right now we just have to maybe just kinda clean that slate,
Okay,
and then maybe in September plant grass
Yeah.
seed.
okay, cool.
Right, you can't
That
do
sounds
it while
good.
it's too
So,
hot.
Yeah, because it's so hot.
alright, they can mow the weeds if they want.
Yeah, it drives you crazy, right? Like
yeah.
certain gardens, yeah. Go by, you're like,
I know. Anything else on that topic? And actually, that ties right into Darien Blooms, because I think we kind of covered that. Elm has done some work on the various gardens. And I think they're paused for now unless we tell them to do anything else. So it sounds like we will tell them to work on Tokeneke. And I actually don't have my list in front of me. Is there any other ones that I think they got to address everything that was on our list.
Yeah, they said they did the one on, Post Road and, Hollow Tree. I was
I
like,
didn't think it needed to be done.
it's like,
that way.
I mulched
Oh.
it, and I weeded it, and I cut back the,
That's what he said. He said we got here and there was really nothing to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That one looks pretty good. I think that's what we spoke about too, like a couple months ago. It kind of is kept by the neighborhood.
Right.
Well,
This
what's
woman,
the-
actually, her landscaper, she's paying her landscaper to
Oh,
maintain that
to
garden.
maintain it. It
Yeah.
always looks like they have huge hostas and like.
I mean, there could be love put into that garden,
Yes, of
but
course.
right now, at least, it's presentable.
Yeah.
And like over at Hinley too, that garden, they didn't do that one.
They
And
still haven't done it, right?
yeah, the hydrangea's still there, the roses
Yeah.
are still there. There's,
There's cactus.
the sage stuff and,
Russian sage.
yeah, Russian sage, I think, in there. So it looks fine, it could use some
It could
mulch.
use a little
Well,
mulch.
remember you did the whole drawing for that one, that garden. There was a
Yeah.
whole design plan for that.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
hasn't been implemented.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for their $10,000, I just think the what's been done
Your water,
is
the
high.
coneflowers. There's coneflowers.
So, it's coming from an arborist in town as well.
So we didn't find any other landscaper that was willing to bid on it. So
Right.
if we can find somebody else who wants to take it over, that'd be fantastic, but.
Yeah.
Someone
Remember
responds to our
that
calls?
process?
Someone
What's
who responds to our calls and emails?
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, we went, you guys weren't here for that, but we contacted as a commission 8 to 10 different landscapers. And Ellen was the only one that would engage. Some didn't respond, some were not interested. So,
Yeah.
And-
But still, I've seen them out watering. I think they've neatened up a lot of gardens.
Yeah, they did exit 13,
But
exit
true,
11.
it is
both
10,000.
exit 11s. Yeah.
But they'll do Henley though, that it's still on their list to do, right? Like they're not done, are they?
no, no, they sent us an invoice for, yeah.
So did they forget
Well,
about
actually, we're
Henley?
waiting on the final invoice, but,
Oh,
yeah, I should pull it up.
And
So we
speaking of
definitely have a meeting with
landscapers,
them before you.
good news,
yeah.
Elder is a citizen,
Mm.
Elder is licensed,
Oh my God.
and Elder is insured. So Ed was happy.
Good.
I'll report on that in mine.
Oh, I talked to Ed about that. He
It's
was
so
happy.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. When he told me that, I almost gave him a big kiss, but those were so sweaty. I was like,
So Tracy, do you
alright.
think that it's more just like labor for Elm, like the.
a lot of it's labor,
A lot of it's
but they
labor,
did
they're
buy
not-
a lot of plants, but
Okay.
Did they put them in?
yes, I think they put some in. But I don't, I
Okay.
wasn't involved in that initial.
I know. Oh, in the initial, and I was thinking, I wasn't, it's so hard when you're not there, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And with
I was trying
gardening,
to catch
yeah,
up in like,
Yeah.
the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like it was
It's hard.
taking off. No, it was hard to catch up.
I find it hard
Yeah.
to even know, like, I would just get an email like, oh, we did this. It's like, oh, I know it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way we could divvy up these gardens? I mean, to be the point on them, not necessarily to take, just to be,
Kind of.
have an eyeball on them and say, okay, at the Darien Fire Department,
That's
this
right.
is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
Ledge Road, this needs to be done. So we know that, and other gardens that have been assigned to Elm, it's like, this is not being done.
So like
So-
one of us is mad.
Yeah,
it's
so
kind of
at
like
least
keeping
we
track.
divide and conquer instead of like
Yeah, divide and
having the whole group hopefully see something, because I don't see everything.
Yeah.
Right,
You
same,
know,
yeah.
but I'd be.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that
That's
that
a
would
really
be.
good idea. Just like
Yeah, so-
3 gardens a piece, just to keep an eye on. So we can come and regroup on.
Yeah. And it's not like you have to be the watering or the weeder or anything like that, but you have to, just report back and this is what's needed. Like you do with all of them, actually. It's a lot of responsibility on your
Yeah.
shoulders.
Sit out my little laundry list. Okay, ladies, if we.
So,
Yeah.
I had
So
mulch
organized.
over here. You're like,
That's why I'm the
love
leader leader.
her, but I'm tired. You're
I
so
want to
funny.
leave my pen.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Is it possible?
Yeah, of course.
I-
Okay, good.
All right, so let's do That's My Brick campaign.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I met with Ed. He needs to, I wrote up a proposal to be submitted to the Department of Transportation. He needed to get a scale drawing, so Charlotte was nice enough to pull that out. I didn't even know this was considered a scale drawing. And I was like, really? I thought it was just like a Google map. So Ed goes, nah, that's not gonna work, Pam. One thing he did say is that the bricks that are encased here, we do have to have some surrounding bricks around, and he suggested Belgian block just to keep them in place. And one reason I think that they didn't fare well, the tile, I mean, the fieldstone that's
Fieldstone,
there right
yeah.
now, is because they really didn't have any reinforcement except for on the, against the cement walkway, which he just said, take the bricks out of the Belgian bricks out of the, when it meets the walkway, because it's a fall risk. So that's all. And he is, I guess, gonna meet with DOT. Hopefully we'll get an okay. Once we get the okay, we start going on Instagram. I'll submit to That's My Brick. I'm just gonna do it like a total write-up in terms of what we're looking for. And then they can go with that. Once we get their write-up, we'll vote on it. I'll just submit it to, I'll send it to everybody so you guys can say, yeah, I like that, or don't like that, or let's do this, or and then they'll set up an account. They will take, like you had said, a certain percentage in terms of the credit cards. And I also need to meet with the person here with finance, just to how we funnel it through. So they're just little details at the end, but it's looking really good. I mean, in terms of actually starting to sell these things, I'm hoping like
Where are we
within 2
gonna-
weeks.
Where would we put the bricks? Because we're not gonna,
We can actually store, there'll be, it's gonna be one delivery time. It can't be like overtime that they're gonna be putting it in.
so we sell them like all
Correct.
summer and then in
Yep.
September they get installed.
Correct, and then we'd have some kind of ceremony or, to celebrate
ribbon cut.
that. And then, yeah, and then we put the new benches in. So it's very
And we
exciting.
have how many benches, 2 or 3?
3. We'll have 3 benches.
And seasons 2 is,
Gonna give it to us at cost. They'll do theirs, and then they will sell us 2 at cost for $560. I don't know if we want to charge $3,000 for the bench, because the one that I saw at the basketball court at Cherry Lawn, that was fabricated from recycled plastic. So it is pretty large, so I just have to get a.
I think that we do benches like the ones we have
Yeah.
here, and it would be kind of consistent,
Yeah.
That
It'd be pretty, especially if we're going through for that theme. I think it would be pretty that way. I totally agree with you. I think we need to look at maybe getting some funding to cut some of the trees in there, because they're crazy wild.
Well,
There's
Elder,
one
I told you,
tree.
Elder is going to,
Did he have sufficient?
yeah, he'll cut those 2 leaders off that one that are dead. And he'll prune back those branches that are hanging over
Okay.
so.
I think it needs to be a little more aggressive so the tree can grow better. I'm not really certain how healthy it is, to be quite honest with you. And then on the left-hand side, I noticed that if you look down on the tree, if you look up, you're like, oh my gosh, that tree's dead on top. So it's it's right near the walkway, and there are a lot of branches that are banging into that building next door where Kim Fay is, who was a gem in terms of letting us use her water.
Oh, that's so
to-
nice.
Yeah, I was so grateful to her.
Oh, that's really nice.
And I would look at her little, she's got a little camera, and I was like, I'm getting water again. So she doesn't report me, that woman's a thief. So,
Did you get it from the spigot by the staircase?
yeah,
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's where Elder and I got water.
it has a hose on it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I don't even know if that's hers, to tell you the truth. But she was very kind. I'm thinking it was.
Also,
And then also, I think, in terms of with our fundraising, just to throw it out there, I know we took down that sign off of Ledge Road, but it'd be pretty cool to have like signs, Darien Blooms Garden from Project of Beautification Commission, and just have them for each garden that we have, just to
that's a good idea.
make it known more about the Beautification Commission and Darien Blooms, so we get a little more play. So just my
If we do signs, we need to get a presentation in front of, what is it, the planning and zoning, I think it was.
Yeah.
They reached us out about us, so we can have a.
just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we can, once we kind of get things in place, that could be a next step.
I think it'd be real pretty.
Yeah.
Well, and we can get the recognition too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people
As
know.
long as they look good.
Like
Yeah.
little signs? Like
No, a larger sign that would be like, I imagine, I'm envisioning that logo, but also like a flower or some type of,
Well, how
Look
about
at it.
both us and this? I feel like if it says
Oh.
Town of Darien,
Okay.
that's like makes town pride, and then
Okay.
our logo next to it,
And-
just those two maybe.
you know,
great.
Yeah, okay,
and
that's
that
nice.
could, and that could be paid for by the town, because I'm sure they'd love that. I don't know. Are you listening? I don't know, maybe that would be something.
Are you listening?
I know. Watch.
You know my motto, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to beg permission.
Well, good, you can ask.
Well, if it came from our budget,
Yeah.
there'd probably be no problem with that. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if we're doing it for the town of Darien, oh,
Yes.
that's true.
But we
That would
are
be-
the
yeah,
town of
we are.
Darien.
right, exactly.
That's true. I forget. So,
right.
Terrific, that's really exciting,
You know,
thank you.
Speak of gardens though, over by Weed Beach, by the boat, by the booth there, Didn't the garden club plant that garden?
I don't know.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, right?
Have they maintained it at all?
I haven't been there in a while.
I don't
Weeds
think
are as
so.
tall as the plants in there.
Hardly.
I don't know
Maybe
how
they
that air
forgot
conditioner
about it.
works in
Maybe it
there,
was
there's
like
no
a-
ventilation. So, I don't know, who do we just reach out to?
Parks
Someone in
and
the
Rec.
garden club?
Or Parks and Rec and see what they say.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll talk to them.
There we go, okay. All right, I will.
Right.
I will do that. Yeah. So,
Is there any update on the Darien train station? I haven't heard anything about, the tracks, the renovation,
DOT
the
work.
trees,
Oh,
DOT
yeah.
work, any of that?
No update at all.
That's what I thought.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the berm, any update on that or anything that's coming on that?
Well, the butterfly garden, I have to go like on Friday again, because you can only park there Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because there's no spots otherwise. So I have to go, because I'm sure, a lot of there's a lot of weeds that are like twirling into the
oh, the knotweed and
the
stuff.
stairway. And then I'm gonna have to trim the butterfly bush again too, because I'm so afraid that if we let it get wild, especially on the top, that they'll come out and they'll spray it again, the DOT. So at this point, because they're basically gonna take that down next year, the butterfly garden, like that's pretty much what they said to us. They're gonna take it down. So
that's-
then of course, then I kind of lose interest in, because then I'm like, why am I breaking my back to maintain it?
They're pushing sand against the tide.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to keep it neat so it doesn't get into anybody's way. And then I'm gonna start to transplant like some of those, just like black-eyed Susans and things like that other places. Because they're gonna tear it down. Yeah.
Yeah, we can always put that stuff in Amy's Smile too.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the story. In case you've seen it and you're like, oh my gosh.
And not everybody was in the room at the time I mentioned it, but my neighbor sold her house and she's got beautiful perennial gardens, and she told the people buying the house that if they decide to trash any of the gardens, that I get first dibs, whether it's me or me for beautification. So, yeah, so she's got a bunch of
Nice.
different things. So,
Instagram, website, email, correspondence.
No update really. We haven't really posted anything, so not really any engagement at the moment.
Okay. I don't think I had something I was gonna
I have-
ask you to post. Oh, are those pictures of the gardens that I sent? Yeah, would you mind posting those?
Yes.
I have some pictures too from here. Maybe you can pick and choose. I can email you those pictures.
Sure.
And you can pick and choose which ones work, and we can post a few.
Okay, perfect.
Right. And nothing on email and no update on website. I haven't done anything. All right, it's not, we could talk about one open commission spot. I mentioned it to somebody and then we spoke to somebody about somebody else. So, no update on that for me. Does anybody have anything to add on that?
The only thing is that maybe that's something worth posting on Instagram too, on the
Yeah.
beautification, because that's how I found out
Okay,
there's a
great.
spot open. So
Great.
maybe if someone's out there, and just like throw the post out every couple months or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. As far as, I want to move into additional new business, I want to mention that our next meeting is August 13th. Is that okay with everybody? Is everybody around? Do we want to do that? Keep the August meeting?
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'm actually here. Yeah. So, okay, we will keep that meeting. That's great. And is anybody else have any additional?
Do we have is there a ruling that we have to have a certain number of meetings a year?
No, not that I'm aware of. I think in the past, we canceled that one.
Yeah.
I know a couple times I was away for the meeting, but I'm actually
Well, I
around.
think it makes sense with all moving parts going
Yeah,
on
me
right
too.
now that we have
Yeah.
an August meeting so that we have a way to formally all be
Agreed.
in the same place.
I'd say as long as
Yes.
we can get a quorum, then we just do it. We
Yeah.
can keep it brief,
Yeah.
if we want to. So, yeah. Okay, great. We'll keep
Okay.
it. And any additional new business? Any additional business? All right, would I'd like to adjourn the meeting. Can I have a motion to tell the truth?
Thank you.
First, Tracy, second. Great, thank you, Danielle.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.